ain't fashion files, you know you drive me wild. I want you to walk straight pose, you know your style is gold. I want you to walk straight pose, you know your style is gold. I want you to walk straight pose, you know your style is gold. Catch me if you can, let's dance to the runway. We can take these raps all the way to London.
Welcome to Fashion Files with Karis Reneé. I'm your host, Karis Reneé, and I'm so excited to have you here. This podcast is going to be about all things fashion. We're going to get into the behind the scenes, trends, just a little bit of everything. And of course, we're going to have guests. We're also going to have solo episodes, just like the one today. Today's episode is going to be all about New York Fashion Week trends. As we know, New York Fashion Week just ended. Normally I get to go. I didn't get to go this year. Well, this season, I should say. I didn't get to go because I was too busy putting this together for y'all. But that's okay because I still paid attention virtually. And so I'm able to now bring you the upcoming trends. So we're going to get into the trends that are coming for spring 2025. This is just part one, so be sure to stay tuned for the next episode, which will be part two, where we'll go over the additional trends that we don't get to talk about today. So let's go ahead and get started. First is one of my favorite trends, and we're going to call it Fringe Frenzy. The two designers that showcased this trend during New York Fashion Week were Monse and Area. Let's get started with Monse first. Monse was able to show us how to do this trend in a very casual way. The looks that they showcased on the runway were very neutral, which you know I'm not a neutral girly, but that's okay. But the fringe was like this bold, oversized fringe, which is something I really haven't seen before. We're so used to like the little small, tiny, glamorous type fringe. But this was a new way to be able to incorporate fringe into your look for every day-to-day basis. Next up is one of my favorite designers, is Area. Area never disappoints. I love them down, okay? The way that they were able to bring this trend across was in their own glamorous way. They do glamour like no other. I love Area. And so they did more of a traditional sense of fringe with the glamour and the sparkles. And if you know me, you know sparkles is one of my favorite colors. Yeah. A new way that I saw that they kind of tied the fringe together was accentuating the waistline. I hadn't really seen that done before. Area, like I said, chef's kiss, okay? If you're not ready to kind of incorporate fringe on like a full outfit because it's a little too bold, that's okay. You can start with just like a jacket or even adding it to your accessories. Maybe a bag that has some fringe on it or even some shoes that has a fringe detail. So it's easy to incorporate this, but be sure you're going to be seeing a lot of this. We already see it now. But come next season, we're going to be seeing it on Overload. Oh, yeah. And if you caught the VMAs that just happened, Tyla actually wore a fringe look to the VMAs. And it was in this beautiful bright yellow color. And it was actually one of Aria's looks straight off the runway. They're already getting started. All right. Next up, the second trend we're calling Boho Chic 2.0. Because we know Boho Chic is already a thing. But so we're calling this 2.0 because they're trying to introduce it in a new way. And the designer up that we're going to talk about first is Kalina Strada. So the way that they were able to kind of bring this trend to the runway is they had it with these cute pastel colors, more also neutral tones, which you're going to hear me say a lot because for some reason in this upcoming 2025, a lot of the tones are very neutral. They're not really doing a whole lot of bold colors or like even like the pastels that we're used to seeing. It's a little more muted and toned down, which is okay. I know y'all neutral girls are really like that. Me, I'm like, I'm going to have to throw in a pop of color somewhere. And that's okay because you got to do what works for you. New ways to see like high-low in this Boho Chic, where we're normally used to seeing high-low that has like a cutout or like something that is like super exaggerated, where it's coming from way up top to hitting the below the ankle. But this way they actually added like sheer elements instead of just having like cutouts. And so they used the fabric in very interesting ways that kind of created a new dynamic for Boho Chic 2.0. All right. Next up, we have Christian Cohen. Now, I've never seen this done. Now, we know that negligee and lingerie has kind of been introduced as to like day wear and everyday looks. Christian Cohen actually had pieces like with lingerie, like a matching set, like a bralette and underwear set over leather. Have y'all seen that before? Because I sure have it now. I don't know that I would wear that, but hey, it's for somebody. But they also just introduce other ways to be able to take that stuff that you would consider like a nightie or something that you would kind of wear in the bedroom and turn it into an everyday look. Now, how you can incorporate this is I'm not telling you to go out in your panties and your bra. That's not what I'm saying. But you can add a bralette under maybe like a jacket with some high-waisted jeans. Or, you can wear like a negligee that goes over the dress over a jean and a top look. Yeah. Figure out ways that you can incorporate this into your closet that works for you. It doesn't have to be straight off the runway. Actually, as a stylist, we rarely take something straight off the runway. We always want to make it fit your style. All right, and that leads me into our next trend, which I'm calling sheer fantasy. So sheer has been having its moment for quite some time now. It's nothing new, but it's going to be coming even more in the next coming season. But these designers did sheer in a different way. So let's talk about the first designer, Kate. Kate created these sculptural pieces that they mix with sheer. So think about a heavier top with a lighter weight bottom. That's what they were able to pull off in their looks this season. They also added pieces that had like little appliques, like things that were coming off of the pant. There's this one pant that they had in like black and in like a tan or a nude color. And just the texture that was added to create the sheer is chef's kiss. I love it. Also, they created some pieces that were like more tailored with the sheer, because we're always used to seeing like sheer with like mesh where it's really like light and the fabric is kind of flowy and moves a little bit. But they created a little bit more sculptural pieces that still fit the theme of sheer, if you get what I'm saying. Anyways, take a look. See what you like. I love the collection. It was super cute. Next up is Grace Sling. Now, they also created a new look for sheer that I haven't seen. Some of their pieces were like ombre. Like it went from sheer into like this pattern and then went back sheer again. I can't recall seeing that before. Y'all let me know if you've seen that. But the colors were, again, they were these neutral tones. So it was grays, blacks, whites. But they went from like nothing to like a stark color and then ombre back down to sheer. It was beautiful. So again, similar to Boho Chic 2.0, incorporate these items lightly. If you don't want to go with the full sheer outfit, which I'm not telling you to do, add something bold, a bold or heavier piece on top of your sheer garment. All right, next up is texture play. Now, I've already talked about texture in some of the other designers' looks because honestly, a lot of designers did a great job with incorporating texture. But these designers were standout designers when it came to using texture. So first up is another one of my favorites, Brandon Maxwell. And Brandon actually was able to use texture by like adding little floral appliques to each garment. There's this beautiful pink skirt, and of course, y'all know it's my fave, that has like these little appliques added to it. Like, I don't know if they're like gems, they're flowers. I don't know what they are, but it's super cute, right? So he created a new texture just by adding appliques. So even if the garment is like a lighter piece, lighter weight fabric, adding that created some interest, right? Also, he had some skirts that created this flowy moment with like, it looked like a trim that he used to create the skirt and just combined the trim together. But the way that it flowed down the runway, oh my God, it was so beautiful. Okay, so in addition to appliques, next up, designer Palomo Spain, they created looks that actually incorporated different fabrics. So, of course, your fur, assuming faux. They also had sequin, which y'all know I love. There was a top that had like ostrich feathers like coming out of the top. It was super cute. And so they used texture in a different way, but also created sculptural pieces to create texture with just using the fabric and the way that they laid the fabric, which was also very interesting. So for texture, we'll actually get into how you can incorporate this a little bit more with the next trend, but always just mix and play with different textures with your garment. I'm always the girl that's gonna say, wear sequins in the day. You don't have to wait for a glamorous moment. You can wear it to the mailbox if you want to. Honestly, I would wear it to the grocery store. You know what I mean? So just add a little bit of texture here and there. And if you don't want to do it on your clothes, accessories is always the way to go. Y'all know I'm a bag girly. So add you a little bag that has like some texture on it, just to give your outfit a little bit of an interest, okay? And last but certainly not least is literally my favorite trend, and I'm calling this trend big bow energy. Yep, you heard that right. And I love bows. I'm actually obsessed with bows. We were just talking about Palomo Spain, but they also did a great job of introducing bows, which is why I said that we would talk about it a little bit in the next trend, the way that they use texture play, because they created these oversized bows using fabric, which is also a form of creating texture in your fabric. But the fact that they made them into bows in these oversized bow moments, because listen, bows are going to be the moment. Actually, they're already having a moment. We're already seeing them everywhere now, but they're going to have even more of a moment come spring, okay? Now, if having an oversized bow is a little bit too much for you, that's okay. Sandy Ling showed another way that you can do it if you are not a maximalist like me and you're more minimalistic. That's okay. So she added little small bows on like different parts of the outfit, whether it was like the sleeve, on the collar, any little part of the garment, just to add an added interest. If you're not a maximalist like me and you're a little bit very mindful, very demure, a little more minimalistic, it's okay. I got you, girl. So just add a little bow here and there, whether it's just on on your sleeve, or maybe you're adding a detail on your shoe, or maybe you're just adding a bow accessory into your hair. That's a good way to incorporate the trend. But if you are a maximalist like I am, maybe you want to just make a whole bow outfit and make your whole top a bow, or add it to your blazer, or have a purse that has a big bow on it to make a big bow statement. Anyways, I love this trend and I love all of these trends. Let me know how you would incorporate these trends in your closet and which one is your favorite. Be sure to use the hashtag Fashion Files, and you might see your comments in the next episode. That wraps up part 1 of our spring 2025 fashion trends that we saw in New York Fashion Week. Stay tuned for part 2, because like I said, it's coming in the next episode. But before we go, this is my favorite part of the episodes, and we're calling this the Style Spotlight. It's going to be where I introduce somebody who I am inspired by their style, and I think you will too. So, first up is my girl, Amanda Finesse. Amanda is actually one of my good fashion friends, and I normally do Fashion Week with her. I missed her so much this last season, but she still stepped out nonetheless. I want to actually talk about one of her looks because it actually featured one of the trends that we talked about, Fringe Frenzy. She had this beautiful monochromatic look with this oversized fringe hat. Yeah. Make sure y'all follow. Make sure you check her out and tell her that I sent you. And since this is the first episode, we're not going to give you just one. We're going to give you 2. So next up is my girl, Courtenay, a.k.a. Coco with Love. She also was able to show us how to incorporate one of these trends during New York Fashion Week. She incorporated big bow energy trend, and she did it in a kind of a mix of a minimalistic and maximalistic way, because she had this top that was a bow top, and the pants that she had were a striped flowy top, but it was still a little more understated. It wasn't too overstated. I love both of these looks. I love both of these girls. Be sure you follow them and check them out on Instagram. And again, tell them I sent you. Okay, so that's a wrap for our first episode. I had such a good time. I hope y'all did too. I hope you got some information. I hope you're ready for part 2, because make sure you come back, because we have to go over the next 5 trends. So until next time, stay stylish and keep that flame burning bright. Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Fashion Files. We hope you found some inspiration and insight from our conversation today. Fashion is all about expression, and whether you're pushing boundaries or sticking to your signature style, remember to make it your own. Be bold, be fearless, and most of all, be you. We would appreciate it if you would rate, comment, and review the podcast. For more content, updates, behind the scenes, and style tips, follow us on our socials at I Love Flame, host Karis Reneé at Everything24Karis, and visit FlameFashionFiles.com. This show is hosted by Karis Reneé, produced by Erica Clark, and engineered by Podcast Carrie. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your fashion-forward friends. Until next time, stay stylish and keep that flame burning bright.
I'm your biggest fan, just had to let you know.